make a blanket made for two now.
And a boy and a girl.
That's a game for me and you now. Yeah, let's give it a whirl.
Way back in the 60s, Annette Funicello and Frankie Avalon brought us some beach blanket bingo.
Beach blanket bingo. That's the name of the game.
That's a good kind of blanket. And then there's the kind of blanket that is used to hide something, sort of like a blanket boondoggle. And it's time to pull that blanket off.
A picture is worth 1,000 words, so what does this one tell us?
There's my buddy, Harris County Commissioner Rodney Ellis, all smiles with New York City Socialist Mayor Zohran Mamdani. Rodney's choice of political buddies isn't surprising, but it's not really why we started looking closer into the travel records of Mr. Ellis and all his friends on Commissioner's Court.
We are all stewards of taxpayer dollars. I believe when we're using public funds, we need to be completely transparent and open with the public.
We agree.
Harris County Judge Lena Hidalgo wants commissioners to approve thousands of dollars for her travel expenses. And she's also been pushing to keep taxpayers from knowing exactly where she's going.
Remember when Judge Lena Hidalgo wanted to go to Paris? Thought she was so important that she needed to take security too. Because it was international travel, she needed to get the permission of Commissioner's Court, and it didn't go so well.
So motion to approve international travel to Paris, France for 2 staff members from the county judge's office for $11,650 from June 8th through 15th, 2025.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. All in favor?
No.
Any opposed?
No.
Motion fails 3-2.
For international travel, there's too little to be gleaned from that type of travel, and I certainly don't want to open it any more than it is for staff delegations, which can make things exponentially more expensive. And I'm not supportive of anything that makes the process less transparent.
The current travel policy should be scrapped, replaced with some accountability. Because right now, millions of dollars are going out the door without any public scrutiny. I remember when every trip had to be approved. That was before the swollen county government days. Instead, now commissioners approve blanket requests for travel. 25 grand, 50, 100,000, even more, all at the same time. The video images are still searing. Hundreds of unarmed, peaceful protesters beaten with batons and tear gas as they marched to Montgomery, Alabama for voting rights decades ago. In March, the 60th anniversary of that bloody Sunday in Alabama was remembered. Look, there's Harris County Commissioner Rodney Ellis, just a couple of rows behind Maxine Waters and Al Sharpton. And you know who paid for the trip? You did. $700 for airfare and hotel. No one questions that Bloody Sunday was a horrible injustice, and I don't spite Rodney Ellis for wanting to go commemorate the anniversary, but why are Harris County taxpayers paying for it? In July, Ellis posted on Facebook about the Justice Journey as it busts through Houston on its way to New Orleans. It's a protest against ICE enforcement. Rodney didn't get on that bus here. Instead, he flew to New Orleans, allegedly for the Airport Minority Advisory Council. Harris County, by the way, doesn't run the airport. A lawsuit by the Attorney General accuses Ellis and other commissioners of misusing money for illegal immigrant legal defense. Why are taxpayers dishing out $800 for his plane ticket? Besides, this guy doesn't need to use tax money for political travel. His campaign war chest is more than $7 million, fueled by contractors who get county business. In the first half of 2025, Ellis collected donations of more than $800,000. Way too often, Ellis is making taxpayers pick up the tab for trips that appear to be political in nature. Over the next year, Rodney Ellis has already been approved to spend up to $150,000 for his department's travel. But he's second to Precinct 4 Commissioner Leslie Briones, who has $200,000 authorized for the coming year, money that has no accountability attached to it because there's no public discussion of the trips, no review of whether the trip was really necessary, and it's time to make that the standard.
We go to places like College Station, in-state, for our continuing education. We go to places like Austin for licensing of our people to do insecticides and other things. So it's directly county related.
Ramsey votes against any out-of-state blanket requests for county departments, but he is not voting against requests made by other commissioners.
I could start getting involved in everybody's business and everybody's precinct, but then they'd get involved in all my business.
Ellis is a bigwig in the National Association of Counties, NACO. He's also active in the National Organization of Black County Officials, called NOBCO. That explains some of the trips, although the value to Harris County taxpayers is suspect. But when we looked at Precinct 1's airfare and hotel bills, we could not determine the business purpose for 21 trips between April of 2024 and August of 2025. So we dared to ask the commissioner for an explanation.
Yeah, let's give it a whirl.
Ellis did not provide any details, kind of like none of your business.
I have a law degree as well.
He gave no justification at all for 2 of the trips. The other 19 were justified simply by a copy of the Precinct 1 blanket travel authorization. No other explanation. 9 trips to Austin, 5 to DC, trips to New Orleans, LA, Atlanta, New York City, and Chicago. And no explanation why we needed to spend our tax money on that. That's not transparent, and exactly why the county needs to do away with these blanket travel requests.
Again, blanket agreements, accountability, they're very difficult to deal with.
One of Commissioner Ellis's trips to Austin lines up with his social media post about his sponsorship of a legislative aid program at the state capitol. Great, he's a former senator, and if he wants to sponsor programs like that, go for it. But I don't want to pay for it. Another travel expense for a hotel in Washington, D.C. lines up with his social media post about grooming college juniors for careers in public policy. Go for it. But I don't want to pay for it. And a county-paid trip to Chicago was for a National Bar Association convention. Yeah, Ellis is a lawyer, but how does going to that convention benefit Harris County taxpayers? And those photos with Mom Donnie, well, they're from August. And the good news, we could find no evidence that Harris County taxpayers paid a dime for that trip. I'm glad.
I'm wanting to speak with Commissioner Ellis. Could you ask him to come over and chat with me?
We're about to start. The meeting starts at 9 o'clock, so he's sharing. When there's a break, I'll mention it.
We've asked repeatedly to talk to Commissioner Ellis, and you know by now that he ignores us. He really likes me. But commissioners should ditch this blanket policy and start justifying all these trips in public. Departments should do it too, because right now it seems to be a free-for-all.
When you look at the ability to go after the fact and document what's done, I think at the end of the day it's not happening.